Hello, Professor Kellenhofer here again. The idea of the Homeric question is what we're discussing in this video. Whether or not there ever was a Homer, and how were these poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, constructed. As we read through the Iliad and the Odyssey, you'll see often, over and over and over again, what we call formulas. Formulas are areas of the poem that use the same few words together as a placeholder. You'll see them with swift runner Achilles, Hector of the shining helm, white-armed Hera, the wine-dark sea, and others. And we look at these formulas as evidence of the oral storyteller. There's no reason for someone who is writing the story down to use the same phrasing over and over and over again. And as you may have learned, it becomes a bit dull, a bit boring when you have to read it over and over. So the idea that many of the separatists being people who study the Odyssey and Iliad and believe that separate authors have written it. The idea that many separatists believe is that what we're seeing in the reading that we're undertaking now is evidence of someone who recorded an oral telling of Homer. By recorded, I mean written down. When a poem that has been only told orally, out loud, over and over and over again, is eventually written down, we call that stabilization. When a poem is stabilized, it's been written down. Well, as we'll see later on in Virgil, when a poet sits down to write a poem, they don't need to write out these formulas, white-armed Hera and all those sort of things, and it detracts from the narrative, from the story. So the fact that we see them over and over and over again seems to be proof that one person was writing down an extemporaneous rendition, recitation of these poems. The use of formulas throughout we can see in modern rap battles, wherein someone who is battling with poetry in a hip-hop battle will use stock phrases that he or she has memorized earlier in order to hold the place, hold the beat, and also think of other things to say at the same time. So, the inclusion of these formulas implies that the oral storyteller was doing his or her work and that someone was writing it down as we read this specific version of Homer.